looking around the room, what would they be based on? What? No. What would classify a person as African American? What? Skin color. I don't know their ancestry. They might have Japanese people in their ancestry someplace. So, these are based on skin color. Now, as airplane flight became very prominent, what happened to these groups?
Mixed.
More and more mixing of these groups. So it's kind of difficult sometimes to say, put absolutes on them. Now in some others, maybe a little bit more. The Native American had less mixing than some of the others. Now, if I were to do this in, let's say, 1900, it would probably be much more isolated. We probably wouldn't have hardly any of these, right? Or very, very few. The African American would have been more defined, right? Because of all sorts of non-travel, etc. Even laws forbidding African American and other European American marriages and so forth. The Native American would have been pretty defined. But since then, we have what? So we have to take these with a little bit of generality, not overwhelming. What about the blood type percentages? Are they're not equal. We have 4 basic blood types, A, B, AB, and O. Are they equal in a population? Depends on what population you're talking about. Okay. The RH is not equal. In the European population, European American population, now right away, that kind of, basically, what's another word for this?
White.
Well,
Caucasian.
Caucasian, white, yes. Okay. And of course, we're back to the same thing. We don't know that person's background. Maybe they have Japanese, Korean, maybe African American, whatever, people in their background. So, but we look at this, then what are the 2 prominent blood types in that population? A and O. O being a little more prominent, 45%, 40%. B is only 11, AB is only 4%. So, if we gathered up 100 Caucasian people at this school, only 4 of them would be type AB, on average. But that's not an absolute. We might get 3 for this one, 5 for the next one, or something like that. Now, how about RH? 85% of any of them would be what? RH. 85% of the A's, the B's, the AB's, and the O's are 85% of that racial ethnic group. Racial and ethnic are not the same. I kind of said those as if they're the same thing. Of course, they're not the same thing at all. But let's just go with racial here. African American. What? Oh. Look at the A and the B. Pretty much the same. 4, pretty much the same. And look here. 95% of them are RH positive. Now, if we go back to even the European American, why aren't they all the same? Nobody has an answer for that. Nobody has a good answer of why blood types differ. How long have these things been around? We suspect, at least in this population, that they've been around for at least several million years. Do other animals show blood types? Yes. They don't match humans, but they show, your dog shows blood types. But they're different than this. I had a diagram, it would look somewhat the idea, but it's not A, B, A, B, O. And then we get a Korean Americans, look at these groups. What's kind of odd there? Well, not odd in the sense of something wrong, but they're all what? They are all RNA positive. And if you look here, what? More even distribution, at least among those three groups. Look at the Native Americans. What have we got? Almost 80% are what? O. Only 1% AB. Nobody has a good reason for these well, they're not discrepancies, for these variations. Because things tend to exist, and exist largely in populations, if they have some sort of advantage. When these things first developed, way back when, millions of years ago, was there an advantage? Well, probably so. Nobody's quite figured out what the advantage was. Okay, so we want to do blood types for each person. Plenty of time. Right? Your blood types for each person, very easy. All you need is 3 drops of blood. All right? All of you can spare 3 drops of blood. Okay? Even if you're anemic, you can still spare 3 drops. All right, what are we going to do? I'm going to give you some cards. Very, very easy to do. All right. Here's how we're going to do this. And now, this is so simple, but if you mess it up and not pay attention, you got it completely wrong. Does this ever happen when people are given the wrong blood type? There was an article, I have it somewhere, lady in an operation in Northern Virginia, kind of routine operation, but she did need a blood transfusion. And she was given, let's say she was A, and she was given B blood, and she died right there on the operating table. Why? Double match. The antibodies for A clumped with the A, and the antibodies for B made the B cells clump, and that was the end of the earth. It could be that fast. Okay, so I have this card. I have this card, and it says anti-A serum. Now, what do we mean by serum? Is serum the same as plasma? No. Okay. If you take plasma, plasma is the fluid part of the blood, and you take all the clotting elements out of it, you now have serum. Okay? We don't need to get into how you do that. So serum is not the same as plasma. Serum is plasma with the clotting elements removed. So you're going to have this card, and it looks like this. You're going to put a drop of serum, anti-A serum, a drop of anti-B serum, and a drop of RH. Now RH is also called D. We can go by the letters of the alphabet. So you put a drop of serum. Pretty simple so far. Now, suppose you put this thinking that you had the anti-A here, right? That simple thing will mess it up completely. So you gotta make sure you put it in the right place. Now you put your drop of blood. Okay? And this is so simple, but it can easily be messed up. And now you do what? Now you take a toothpick. I think I left the toothpicks in here, but I'll get them. You take a toothpick and you basically mix these together. Okay, just take the toothpick and mix them together. Now, you don't want, when you put it here, well, if you have them separate here, there shouldn't be any cross-contamination with anything else. But what are you looking for? You're looking for clotting, or coagulation. And what it's going to look like, if it happens, it's going to look like this. It's going to be a blob, if it happens. Okay, now it doesn't have to happen because, what? Because if there's no A antigens in that blood, it's not going to do that. And here, you're looking for the same thing. You're looking for the blobby. It will be a good blob. Okay? Over here, it'll be generally quite a little bit less than the blob. Quite often, it looks like this. Now, where it happens is not relevant. But quite often, if you move it a little bit, you'll see these little particle-like things like that. Sometimes it is a little more of a blob, but, all right, so that's it. And we put the results up on the board and you use them for homework. The percentage of A's and B's and et cetera, et cetera. Now, let's just go through a couple here. Suppose we get agglutination. Suppose we get agglutination and say yes, yes. All right, what type of blood is this? I don't think so. Oh, well, no, back off. I was saying there's something. I'm sorry. All right. And let's over here say yes. All right, so that's what? What kind of blood is that? O positive, yes. That is AB, that's AB negative, right? It doesn't have the A, it doesn't have the B, and it doesn't have the RA. Doesn't that make it AB negative? Right? Some people are looking like they didn't follow.
So is that, when you say yes, does that mean yes, it's clotted,
Yes,
or yes?
yeah,
it's not
yes,
clotted?
yes, it's clotted. That's agglutinated, right? Yes means that that antigen is present. Okay, this is not clotting, it's agglutination. Those are two completely separate things. All right, let's do one
So
more.
it doesn't glutinate all over. That's AB positive.
Okay, what's this? What was it? What's that?
If it glutinates, yes, all over that's okay. But if it doesn't,
Yes, blank, yes. A positive, right? The B is not there. Hold on a second, I'm not following what's going on here. Do I follow what's happening?
sort of.
Okay. So, what you need, now I put these in water here. This is the serum with the anti-A, anti-B, or anti-RH. This happens to be, this is anti-B. I put them in water just to make them, warm them up. So, dry them off, obviously, when you use them. So here, if you want one per table should be good. Ow.
I'm just getting confused on whether or not the glutination is the other cheat sheet.